Salve a tutti, benvenuti a questa nuova puntata di Soundtrack City Plus con Massimo Privitera. Ciao Massimo.
Ciao Marco e con il mio collega Marco Testoni, benvenuti.
Allora, grazie a Massimo è presente un'intervista molto importante a un compositore, Simon Boswell. Perché? Perché Massimo è andato a premiare nella scorsa edizione del CinemArcord, è un compositore molto attivo soprattutto nella musica di che anni, Massimo, per comprenderci, qui in Italia?
Guarda, per lo più primi anni 80 fino a ovviamente ai giorni nostri, ha avuto il massimo fulgore creativo nell'ambito della musica applicata alle immagini, perché lui viene comunque dall'ambito punk, rock, metal, un compositore a tutto tondo, diciamo.
È premiato per i 20 anni di colonne sonore per aver spaziato tra i generi della settima e ottava arte con uno stile sempre riconoscibile e incisivo, lasciando un segno unico in ogni partitura. Insomma, chi è Simon Boswell, caro Massimo?
Allora, un personaggio, come abbiamo già detto, abbastanza importante, l'abbiamo premiato insieme a Pino Donaggio, Natale Massara e Guido e Maurizio De Angelis. Boswell ha una carriera multiforme. Lui è famoso, è entrato diciamo nell'Olimpo di quei compositori importanti nella musica applicata alle immagini grazie alle colonne sonore per Fenomena, di cui ha scritto un pezzo, 𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐻, di cui ci parlerà, Santa Sangre per Jodorowsky, Hardware, Sogno di una notte di mezz'estate, Das Devil, La Chiesa, Lord of Illusion e tante altre. Lui ha fatto, diciamo, ha creato più di 100 colonne sonore in carriera, spaziando dal sinfonico all'elettronico, però lui proviene anche da band come i 23 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐦𝐢, i Sex Gang and Children, e poi ha lavorato con Amy Stewart, con Nine Below Zero, con Nick Cave, con Philip Glass. Comunque una carriera veramente, come dicevo, variopinta e multiforme. Ama molto, e lo dirà nell'intervista, l'Italia grazie a Dario Argento, Michele Soavi, Lamberto Bava, di cui ci racconterà questi excursus lavorativi con opere come Deliria, come Demoni 2, come Fenomena per l'appunto. 𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐻, se vi ricordate il pezzo, è quello che rintraccia le mosche in volo nel film Fenomena.
E allora, senza indugi, andiamo a sentirci l'intervista a Simon Boswell. Ciao, alla prossima!
Ciao, e ringrazio Stefano Rossello di Rustblade Records e Fabrizio Campanelli per aver collaborato a questa intervista. Cos'è per lei il rapporto con la musica per l'immagine?
What is for you the music for images, for films?
Well, it was not something that I ever thought that I would do. I had no plan to be a film composer. So it was a surprise for me when I was asked through a friend, agent, one would say, in the music business, Vincent Messina, to have a meeting with Dario Argento. So I said yes. I had heard his name, but I'd never seen any of his films. So I had a meeting with him. I can remember going to his apartment. And the one thing I do remember from meeting Dario Argento was he was really scared of his cat.
Okay.
It was a really strange meeting. Okay?
It was strange. I'll explain a bit more. He said, "Would you like a cup of tea, some tea, cafe?" And we said, "Yes, yes." Me and Vincent. And so Dario gets up and he goes to the door and he's looking down the corridor, and then he rushes out and runs down the corridor. He said, we asked him, and he said, "Oh, because the cat hates me. The cat hates me. Jump on me." So that was my first meeting with Dario. But Dario had been to see my band, Livewire, play at the Piper Club in Rome, I think, 2 years before. So he knew who I was from that. But anyway, a long way to tell the story. I had no idea about film music, how to write it. I'd never really listened to it. I mean, apart from certain movies where I thought, well, it's interesting, the music to that film. But I was not like a film buff, as we say, you know, an expert in films or film soundtracks to begin with. I learned very fast. So it was, for me, the very first experience on Phenomena, the first piece of music that I had to write.
Maggots.
The Maggots.
Amazing.
You know, I didn't know what was expected of me. I didn't know what Dario wanted. I was very nervous. So when I played him this piece of music and he listened to it, I was very nervous. And he looked at me and he said, "It's beautiful." And at that point I realized, film music, you can do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it works, as long as it scares people or makes people feel emotion, or as long as it helps tell the story of the movie. And so I had a very good education from the very beginning with Dario, and then with Lamberto Bava, and then with Jodorowsky, because Dario Argento was producing Santa Sangre. So I had a very good education from real artist directors, not from commercial directors, but from people who were interested in music, telling you the sub-story, telling you a story maybe you weren't seeing on the screen. And I realized that music is then a language of the subconscious.
Nella sua carriera, quale ritiene che sia la colonna sonora più rappresentativa o le colonne sonore più rappresentative del suo stile compositivo?
What is for you the best soundtrack that represents your style?
Well, you know, that has changed over time. But the first film that I did, that I felt was really mine, is Deliria.
Okay.
You know, Demons 2 was literally the first film I wrote all the music and picked the bands, the songs for the film. But Deliria was not about songs, it was just a score. And I felt that was me going, now I understand, I can put my personality into this music, this film music, you know. But I also, I think, brought to Deliria my love of electronic music, but also coming out of punk rock into like goth, British goth music, you know, and I was producing a lot of those bands. So I felt, okay, I can make a difference here. Also I felt, especially with Demons 2, because Dario was producing that film, I could steer Dario and Bava away from heavy metal music. At the time, I thought British goth music was much more interesting for horror films, you know, and indeed I think it is. It's a different style, but it works.
Nella tua carriera, Simon, esistono sia colonne sonore prettamente di stampo elettronico, anche new wave, prog, rock, ma anche colonne sonore sinfoniche. Io penso a Jason and the Argonauts, A Dream in the Middle Summer. Come ti sei trovato quando hai dovuto metterti in pratica con l'aspetto sinfonico, orchestrale di una colonna sonora?
You do a lot of electronic soundtrack, but you are also do some symphonic soundtrack. What is your approach of this? Why you do you change completely also?
Okay, well, you see, I started learning the piano, the classical piano, when I was 5 years old. So I was good at the piano. So by the time I was 7 or 8, I was already writing pieces of music in the style of Bach or Chopin, or, you know, very, well, how do you say in Italian, precocious, I don't know, you know. But I had, on piano I had this classical input, and the early soundtracks were more to do with me playing guitar and experimenting with electronic music. Eventually people say, you want to write this for orchestra? I think, yeah, I can do that. I know what it takes to be Mozart. I've played Mozart, you know, arrogant. But the thing is that I didn't go to conservatoire or anything like that to study music, except for playing the piano. So I knew some, but I didn't know too much. If I know too much, I would never have dared to do the orchestral music. So it was kind of like if a director would say to me, you know, oh, I would like this to be like Stravinsky. I go, I'd play Stravinsky, I'd listen, I go, yeah, okay, I'll do that, that's fine, that's it. You know, so it's kind of arrogant, but also I was not intimidated by knowing too much.
Who plays music is an eclectic man on music.
Yeah.
And more spontaneous.
Yes, I think that's right. And like I said, I didn't know too much.
Una considerazione sul premio di colonne sonore che gli stiamo dando in questa occasione speciale di CinemArcord.
Something talk about your award and time that you do here.
Yeah, okay, indeed.
Motivation.
I don't know if you see it. What did they write for your music?
What did they say? I haven't. I didn't read it because I wasn't wearing my glasses. So what does it say? For the wide range of music written for every film genre, always keeping relevant with a vivid style, having a unique mark in each score. That's very nice. That's very, very nice of you. Okay, well, first of all, I'm delighted for what was written on my award here, because I also feel like I don't have just one style. I'm very sensitive to the kind of film that I'm writing the music for, and it's many, many different types of genre. So I write in many different styles to fit the film. For me, the film is the boss. It's not me. I'm not an artist. I'm not Bob Dylan. And they're using a song of mine in a movie. No, I am working as a team, a collaboration with the film, with the director and the producers of the film. But I have to say this, and I want to say this publicly, that this award means a lot to me, because I owe my career as a film composer to Italian cinema. Not to British cinema, not to American cinema. I owe it entirely. The first 20 movies are all Italian that I did before anybody back in London realized I was doing it. So I am forever grateful to Italy for that chance, to Argento especially for the opportunity he gave me. So I want to put that down on record as saying thank you very much, Italy, for the opportunity.
Thanks so much, Maestro.
About the Delirium movie, did you meet Michele Soavi or not?
Yes. I met Michele to talk about the film. He was just very polite, very trusting. I think I maybe had met him previously because he was assistant director to Dario on Demons, probably. No. He was in Demons as well, as an actor.
Phenomenal.
So I'm sure I had met him before, but the first real meeting with Michele, I think he just said he wanted me to follow my own direction, really, and just sort of look at the film and see, see what appealed to me in terms of style. And as I said, Delirium was the first film where I began to spread my wings as a composer, but also do it from what I knew, and what I knew at that point was synthesizers and thrashy guitar, and those two things are the two main elements of Delirium.
Okay, the last one. You have a good relationship with Lamberto Bava. You do a lot of films for Lamberto Bava. What is the relationship with Lamberto? Why call you in a lot of films?
Well, why did I work so much with Lamberto? I guess you'd have to ask him that. But I suppose, I think he trusted me. After doing Demons 2, which I think was probably a bigger challenge than I realized. I mean, I didn't listen to Simonetti's music for Demons 1. I didn't actually watch the film either before I did Demons 2, because I don't like to be influenced by things. So I didn't know what I was following, if you know what I'm saying. But having done that, I think Lamberto was very pleased with the result, and also pleased with the soundtrack that I put together of all those 80s British goth bands and the Smiths and various other people who were on the soundtrack. So he just asked me to do, I forget which was the next one up that I did. I can't remember what order they came in. There were so many going, I think like 8 films in about 2-3 years. I think it was really very fast. But I guess Lamberto trusted me, you know, and I was just prepared to experiment. So they're all kind of quite different soundtracks, a lot of them. I mean, for me it was also a question of what synthesizers and what electronic equipment was coming out. I would use the latest thing that was coming out because it inspired me, you know, and it inspired me, gave me a kick up the arse, as they say, to do something new, do something slightly out there.
All right.
Are you good?
Great. I think great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.